I love how Twitch makes me have a countdown to the ads. And then it gives me like, it waits another 2 minutes and it gives me an ad starting soon screen. Just run the ad. There we go. Hey, Orca. Listen, gang, I am hyper-focusing hard right now. Y'all are gonna have to just be along for the ride, sorry.
I see.
I see. Callie's in. Hi, Kleisen. Or Callison, as Zelo calls you now. We'll start here shortly. Use Callie as a nickname in some places? I didn't know that. Alright, let's get started. Where'd my stream buttons go? You stole them? Miracle. But why? I was using those. Hell yeah, Orca. Cannot wait for that to arrive. Good evening, everyone. Welcome in to the Skyway Cafe. Hi, hello, hello, hi. It's me, Lockely. Hope everybody's having a good evening. I know I sure am. It's a Thursday. I'm real happy to see everybody here. Sorry that I was gone on Tuesday. I did not sleep. I didn't sleep, and therefore, I could not stream. So I appreciate folks being around. It's Raptors, very important question. Spaghetti or meat? Can I not have both together? I mean, if I can't, then I guess meat. But I literally just had spaghetti for dinner tonight. So, you know. But how you doing? I hope you're having a good night. So gang, y'all gotta follow me on my hyperfocus journey this evening, this week, while I still have it. Turn the music down just a little bit. I recently got access back to Wildstar on the WSRP server, which is a invite-only server, so I cannot give out invites, unfortunately. However, they have housing rebuilt. Now, I've had my house saved since Wildstar went down. It's Raptors, thank you for that follow. Welcome on in. I've had my house saved since Wildstar went down. That was a thing that I did have. However, sorry, I'm looking for an image here on my other screen while we chat. However, a lot of the features weren't working last time I played. Inside of houses weren't working at all. We couldn't do like a whole lot of stuff. So I didn't play for quite a while, because they've had the server up for a while, but I didn't play for basically ever, because I, you know, needed to wait for the systems to cook a little bit more, which is cool, because now they have housing indoors fixed. They've patched in a whole lot of extra stuff, which is super cool, like a ton of items. There we go. That should do it. Hi, Skylar. How you doing? Okay, that did it. Cool. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna put this over on... Am I right, just vibin'? Well, I hope you enjoy the just vibe. I have a plan here, actually. Because what I'll do... I'll go to this one. And... instead, I will add... Sorry, I'm like kind of trying to make something happen. And hoping it works. That should work. We're gonna do this. Sorry, I'm like doing several things at once. Weather finally cooled down here. I can actually breathe outside. That's wonderful. I'm really glad to hear it. I don't want to dox anybody on the game, so I'm trying to work on... this will have to do. Well, let me do something else, actually. I have a better plan. where's my... I'm on my other screen, trying to add a little block over the chat. This should do. Just put this here. Yeah. Yeah, this'll do. Okay. So, I've been playing Wildstar, right? I rebuilt my house, and then I went on a big mission to improve everything because I looked into what WSRP is doing, Wildstar Roleplay, and they've set it up so that they're following the same sort of timeline that the game did when the game shut down, i.e. 1 year in-game is 1 year in the story, or 1 year in real life is 1 year in the story, right? So what that means is that if 1 year means 1 year in the story, that means that a lot of time has passed. And I've made it no secret that I like to RP my MMO characters. There's a lot, you will see it shortly, but there's a lot of inspiration into Lockely that came from Rem, which was my Arin from Wildstar. So being able to play Rem is great, but I needed to go and touch up his housing plot to make it feel like time has passed since I last played. So I have spent many hours over the last couple days, except for Tuesday when I went the fuck to bed, doing a ton of upgrades to the plot. So I'm gonna show you what the plot looked like before, and then I'm gonna show you the upgrades I made to it. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to my character Gilder, because I was able to, using XML black magic, recover his plot from a place that was not supposed to be recoverable. And I'm really happy that I was able to do it because I got it back, and I even cried about it a little bit earlier because I put so much work into these and it was so sad that they were gone, and I'm so happy that they are back. So, I am going to pull up my YouTube channel. Yeah, I legitimately cried a little bit, so... Okay. Let's go ahead and set that to 1080p. Mute the music. We're going to go over to our game screen. Hi, Delta Cat. And as you can see, I'm on Rem right now, logged into Wildstar. I have a little chat block for you with, I used to do all kind of little fun photoshops of my characters. This one I called Nine Harrier. Nine was Rem's little robot companion. But I'm bringing up my browser real quick. We're gonna watch the video of what the plot looked like beforehand. And then I'll let you see what upgrades I've made to it. Hope you're doing good, Delta Cat. So I took this video the last couple days before the server shut down. So this is the intro to the plot. And this game didn't have a fly mode, so I had to record everything basically walking. But this is right beyond the doors. Walking down the pathway in first person mode. I've placed everything here. I built a museum on the left there, which we're scrolling past all the little exhibits that I curated together from different like cultures around Nexus. First one was Falkrin, second one was Taurine. No, first one was not Falkrin. First one was something. Second was Taurine. Last one's Falkrin. And I placed NPCs. The one in the middle was dedicated to like the Eldon and the Nexus project. That's the house itself. And I believe we're going to go inside. I thought it was really cool, like 8 years ago, making this transition where I walk towards the door. uh, so here's the interior. The bottom was like a club slash movie theater area, where people could do stand up or put on shows or whatever. Me and Rio used to sit down there and narrate fake movies that we were watching. And then upstairs is a bar area that has an NPC bartender, a few sections, because this is supposed to be a lodge in the middle of the jungle, as a few sections for people to like rent a hammock. It is cozy. I had an NPC chef. I built a lot of this stuff straight from building blocks, and I'll show you how it works. Wildstar housing is absolutely insane. We're going to work on Gilder's plot together, because I need to make upgrades to his now. This was the upstairs area. It is dead as a doornail. This is a private server. This was the upstairs area where I have a poker table. All of those cards are actually posters placed that I shrunk down and hand placed. This is a jumping puzzle that I created, because jumping puzzles were very much a thing, much like in Guild Wars. So I created a jumping puzzle to get up to the top up there. That sort of looks like it was built into a natural formation. From up top, you can see that it's not necessarily a natural formation. There's a pump just pulling water through down to the waterfalls. It's actually a water feature. That little flitterfly at the bottom right corner, that was actually hand placed. Inside of the thing is a little hot springs that people could use. I set this plot up as an RP hub for people. Then this section was my little like RN meeting section. It's a big pillow pit. We actually had a few different RP meetings here. It was pretty good. This is the little Zen pond area. And I added the water that flows into it because normally it's just a pond. This is a flower garden that Savannah made. I made sure that she had something that added. Sorry, Rio. Her name in the game was Savannah. I actually met her in this game. She made herself a little library for people, a little community library. Then I had a campsite, a very rustic campsite for people who didn't want to pay to stay in any of the rooms or inside the bar. Very rustic, very bare bones. Not a whole lot going on there, but it was meant to be like that. And then my windmill. And then, here's the thing. I placed all of these trees. That whole canopy is shit I've placed. And I built a way to get up above. Which was, frankly, a nightmare. Up at the top, I built this telescope. Gang, I am so proud of the telescope. I cannot wait for you to see what the telescope looks like now. It was sort of like a place to hold like science-y meetings. And then what you're looking at there is actually Rem's house, hanging below, attached to that big tree. This is his room. So, you will not believe how much stuff was hand-placed with this. I will show you just how involved this process actually was. Because I want to show you what it looks like now. I always like the way that reaching sounded, and it sort of spun the thing to the beat, and then we're back to the entrance and the exit. So, here we are. Let me turn sound on. Somehow, when I hit mute all, it decided that we weren't allowed to have any sound anymore. That's fun. So, we're back here at the entrance, and this is Rem. I love that the new version of Wildstar, the RP version, allows me to have a big fuck off wrench. So already at the beginning, we have a change. I've added a taxi stand. So there's a way for people to now, like an official taxi stand, so people can come and go without having to fully trek your way up here. Because in my head and the way it's presented, this is actually in the world in the area called Wildstar, which is the lodge is a piece of civilization in the middle of the jungle, basically. I've switched out the guard out front from being an exile-specific guard to being COGS, which is the Coalition of Galactic Scientists. My area was always meant to be neutral cross-faction, so COGS is a neutral organization, which is why he's there. And you'll see that my notice board, which is supposed to be the rules for entrance, has both an exile streamer and a Dominion streamer to showcase that this is, you know, a safe space for everybody. Have the little button to buzz yourself in, doors open, come in. You'll notice that the foliage, you may not notice this, but the foliage is different. I switched to a different version. A lot of the blues and stuff, this is the Everpool entrance instead of the Wildstar one. But we have a new thing on the left. Is immediately as you walk in, I added a place for people to park their mounts, air quotes. Park their mounts, work on their hoverboards, and I like to do little things like this. Like I have a puppy riding on the Uniblade because it's cute. But just so that you're aware of like what this looks like from a building standpoint, if I go into edit mode, every single item I've placed is hand placed like that. If I go to my I think it's under the remodel one. No, if I go under my crate, you can see that outside I have currently placed 2,211 individual pieces. Thanks, Yargle. 2,211 pieces outside. Which means that there's almost 1,000 inside as well. As you can see that Rem's ears made it into Lockely's design. And also the tailband. Lockely has his tailband up here, but even stuff like light, that is light. That's a spotlight that I have placed to give lighting here. That's a lamppost. All of these trees, all of these bushes, all of this grass, all of this was hand placed. Just so you're aware of how much work went into this. I love this plot so fucking much. So, I added a little mushroom and a little squirg chilling on the mushroom in here too. This was a delivery which ended up being an RP thing, and there was just one note taped to the side that was like a misdelivery. Since it's technically been several years in universe, there is now a whole bunch of other notes and things taped to it that people have left. Inside my museum, I have added lighting properly into each of these, and I've added some effects in. So this is Pell actually. So these are the Pell. There are now benches for people to sit on. Added some more lighting into this, which has like a dappled effect to make it look like the lava from in there is doing something. I love my placards. You had to get really creative in Wildstar housing. So many people got so creative. My placards are paintings flipped over. Just using the back of paintings. That's its own individual piece. That's an individual piece. That's an individual piece. I've placed all the NPCs too. Did some green lighting in here. And I think I added the floating data cube in this time. And then over here, not only did I add some lighting in, but I also added a whooshy like wind effect, because the Falkren are like big bird people that are aligned to the elements of air. Now over here, I did switch up some of the NPCs inside here, and then I added new effects inside of here to make this look more outstanding, like stand out looking. Replaced my guards again with another COGS security officer so that it's more neutral instead of what it was before. So you come over here, first thing you see is some Protostar employees and what appears to be a crash lifter. So I've got one Protostar employee being Hildebranded in the ground. The things he was loading are have been dumped, and there's two others standing around him, like going, man, what the fuck do we got to do? You can also see my windmill. See my windmill, but you can hear somebody working over here, right? So I have a guy over here actually making repairs to the generator. However, you follow it, you can see that there's a cord here, and it goes up. And hey, there's the plug. And you've got this slightly, like, annoyed repair bot floating here, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? So that might lead you, like, why is the cord there? And if you look up, sorry, Rem is so fucking short. Here, let me turn into a butterfly so I can actually show you. You look up, the cord's been cut. That's fucking weird. And up here, we have a Dominion Chua spy sabotaging it. Because something I really, really love to do when I'm making houses is add little stories, just little tiny stories all around the map. They could be almost nothing, right? They're just exist slightly in my head, but environmental storytelling for me is like super important. It's really important to me that when I build something, it structurally works like 90% of the way, so that when you're looking at something like this, or you're looking at my builds, you can have that suspension of disbelief and it's not just floating there, right? We come out here, if you were to explore off map out here, I have these NPCs do actions automatically. You can program to do something. They just do them automatically. They just have certain animations that they do depending on what you place down, basically. And there's not that many that have animations, really. You have a Velocirex, and then you have its owner, which is a Draken, and it's harassing the shit out of a Jabbit in a Jabbit hole. Just little stories. I just love making little stories. So if we come back here and we go down this way, something that I've changed is I've made a change here so that there's now a job board placed out front with a whole bunch of stuff. Somebody's left their hoverboard laying there. But there's now a job board here. I've placed a blinky light in here so that it's a little bit on the fritz, because we're still not in civilization, right? We're still on the frontier. I haven't made too many changes over here, over to the pond. In fact, I wanted to leave the pond almost exactly as it was because I was really happy with it already. The only thing I have to do is occasionally come over here and turn the candles on. Now, because this pond is spawned by a housing plug, it's supposed to have goldfish in them, but none of the NPCs that get spawned by housing plugs work currently, so I actually had to go and place my goldfish back in manually. I also added little things like I made a rock that you can actually sit on and dangle your feet into the water if you want to. There's a couple of them. I think there's another one over here. Yeah, there's one over here too. There's a bench here too, just for people to hang out. This pond didn't come with a water source, so I actually went and had to place this water source and build all the rocks around it. See, waterfall wide, river winding, waterfall cascade, and there's a couple of them going up there. And then all the rocks I placed around it to try to fit around the waterfall. Oops, double tap dodged. You can go up here, and then you can fall, which is what I like to do on days that end in Y when I'm trying to climb up things. A lot of the things in Wildstar were actually meant to be little mini jumping puzzles on their own. So this is a tree that was meant to be one, and I am doing really bad at it because I'm streaming. Let's see, double jump. Yeah, there we go. And make it up to here. And me and Rio, when we used to just hang out at my plot, a lot of times we would just sit here and look over the house and over the plot as it was. One of the areas I did a big overhaul with was, I haven't touched Rio's garden either because it's hers and I don't want to touch it. I think it's very important that I leave it as it was. And if she wants to come in and make adjustments, she can. One of the areas I did a big adjustment was my campsite. Remember how it was in the video? Very bare bones, campfire on the ground. All the tents were just sort of lean-tos with tarps thrown over them. This was just like a triple stick tarp with an NPC chilling over here. So I've made a big upgrade to it. Let me go and unlock the RPG. And what I've done is I've upgraded all of the things, basically, and made it so they, it looks like time has progressed. So we have better tents that you can actually stay in. This has its own full station now where this dude is selling food and supplies. He's got like med kits and parts and stuff back there. We have new people here, like new NPCs. So there's a Pell here now. She's still here. She hasn't moved. I changed the RN tent. There was one over there. There's now just one over here because it's still a pretty good tent. Replaced one of the lean-to tents with a nice big explorer tent since it's open to me. And added an XAS scientist in here, or a COGS researcher in here, researching stuff. There's her scan bot. There's her cot, which this cot is not actually part of this. I placed it. Same thing with all the little things in here. With her little science crate and her books and everything. And there's a Lop tent over here because Lops are merchant traders. I figured they would probably have weaseled their way up here at some point because they are in Wilderrun. So got some Lop in here. Did an upgrade on my shower that people can use. I know that we didn't see it in the video, but it was basically just the cylinder with the chain and the drain. It didn't have any of the lighting. It didn't have the vent on the side. It didn't have the towel rack over here where I have manually placed and stacked all of these towels. I redid these, which, fun fact, these are doors. These knobs, these are doors. I have shrunk them down to 0.02% of their size. If I make it their normal size, there's 0.2, not 0.02, but 0.2 of their size. There's normal size for it. That's the kind of things you do when you're building in Wildstar. I actually added a puddle effect here for a drip. You can watch it happen. New meaning to doorknob. Oh my god. Added a puddle effect with a drip, so the shower's leaking a little bit. I replaced the completely garbage ass. The entire building was made of these wooden planks, including the floor in here and the ceiling. I replaced the ceiling with a nice like hatch that can be opened for ventilation, and then I replaced the floor with a nice like sort of spongy tile. I've not done anything with these rooms. I also don't really know what I want to do with these rooms. These are sort of the hotel rooms of the lodge. So you got a nice big screen television, a little work desk with some books, a bathroom, and then a hammock bed, a nice cool little hammock bed with, this is some Pell device, but it looks like an alarm clock to me, so it's an alarm clock. Go and close my door. And on the other side of that is just a carbon copy transposed. Back here is sort of the backyard barbecue communal dining area. So there's some people cooking on some barbecues. I believe that steak is something I placed. Yeah, that steak wasn't there. Some people cooking, some different types of foods. I didn't do too much back here. I added some string lights to brighten up the place, make it a little more festive. I added a new NPC. I added the lop over here, and then the lop jug for them. And then I had some more lighting back here because it was really dark. And then circling around here, this is my firing range with a crate that you can open and close that has items in it. There's an NPC guarding the fun toys. If you want to try and play with any of the fun toys, you have to ask her. She will let you know whether or not you can use the fun stuff. And then up here, you may recall looking at the video that this used to be like just little flaming pillars, and now I have like a proper sign to the jump course that sort of matches, like, because I have my windmill and like tall flowers and stuff, so it matches. We'll come to the jump course a little bit later because we need to come and take a look at this first. Over here is the hot springs, which I have not done a whole lot in. I did add some lighting in here to make it a little more ephemeral. But there are places for you to sit in here, a towel area, some more towels to use. You have a nice little view of the outside area. By the way, those trees and stuff are things I also placed outside using glitches. Normally you would just see a housing. I'll show you what it looks like on a housing plot that doesn't have somebody building on the outside. And I add little things like that's an air conditioning unit. No one's going to fucking see that but me, but it makes sure that the inside has air conditioning, right? Like, that's important to me, that it feels like it's a real place. There are real things going on here. Built my rope bridge up here, and made some changes in here. So I have the pillow pit. I used to have one set of stairs, which was over on, I want to say it was right over here, actually. I had a set of stairs on here. Hi, Valios. That was built out of something like 36 Cassian pillars, which are just structural pillars that I had to build into a staircase shape in the proper set of degrees so that you could actually walk up it, which was a nightmare. Building a circular staircase is a fucking nightmare in anything. Changes in this room, I added, let me turn that off because that's an annoying sound. I added NPCs that hang out in here. It's very old and very dead. I added NPCs that hang out in here. I changed the book to one that's like much nicer and has like actual like sigils and things you can see on it. Added a note to this book, added another book here. My little gramophone I actually have here that's hand built. This is like 4 different things stuck together. Added a sleeping taurine or pumera, which goes with its taurine owner up here. Around this side, I added a second stairwell, this wooden stairwell that fits in much better with the theme. And then over here, I added this nice like branch thing, which is actually 2 pieces overlaid. I also went through and changed the Hoogles so they're all unique around the outside edge. They were initially the same exact statue repeated 4 times. I've made it so that they're all individually different statues. Something else that I did is up here, I added this floating Aran platform with stairs. And you can come out here and look at the sunset or the stars or whatever. And you can see the fireflies, because the fireflies are actually an effect that I've placed here to make it a little more magical. Also, if you are very sharp-eyed and you look down, that's a TARDIS. That's a TARDIS. Had to hide one of those in the plot somewhere. New NPCs in here, because now I can have like an XAS scientist as an NPC. I need to stress to people unfamiliar with Wildstar that you start with a giant... Actually, here. Let me see. Oh, I crashed it. That happens on the emulator sometimes. Oh, I don't have audio. Okay, hold on. 1 second. That also happens with the Wildstar client sometimes. It'll just load up without audio. There it is. Let's go to Lockely. Because I don't think I've started building anything on Lockely's plot. I did make Lockely as an Aran. Yeah, this is what the plot looks like to start with. I've added 2 housing plugs. This is what a blank housing plot looks like. It's just flat, gang. It's just flat, and you get a little house in the center, and that's it. This is all you get. This is how it starts. Just so you are aware for the comparison, this is how it starts. Also, I think Lockely makes a good Aran. Yeah, this is how it starts. Literally nothing, basically. And actually, I've done a little bit to this plot. Normally, you start with a construction site in the middle, but we'll do... What's the smallest house I can do? We'll do the underground bunker. Actually, just remove that. There's our construction site. Remove my bot workshop. Remove my Shardspire Canyon. And then we'll do remodel, and we will make the sky back to default. Music, default music. Ground, default ground. This is what you start with. Right here. When you load into your housing plot, this is legitimately what you start with right here. And what's funny, Kleisen, do you remember when they made the housing plots bigger? I don't mean like when they added the extra space, like to place decor down. I mean, like, they physically made the plots bigger. So there was a point in time when my house was smaller, and then we all logged in with a patch, and suddenly there was just an empty strip around the entire outside edge of where we had placed everything. I'm really glad they didn't go with the hook system too. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I think it's a little bit broken. There's not supposed to be a door here. Let's actually not use that. I might end up trapped in the void. But yeah, so we can place all kinds of shit here. Like I'll place a birdhouse. And then that birdhouse I can adjust to change how it looks. There's options. I can change the door for the entryway and the door. I could make it a black hole. I had the spaceship here because I think Lockely is going to have a spaceship on their plot. But you had smaller houses and then you could upgrade to bigger houses as well as an underground bunker. Did you have to craft housing stuff? So here's the fun thing. All the items you have, they were either from 3 different places. You could either buy them off of the housing vendor or various vendors out in the world, because some of them were reputation items that you had to earn rep with different factions to then buy items from. You had to craft them or buy them off of the market board from somebody who did craft them. And crafting in Wildstar was very different from crafting in most other MMOs. Like, you actually had to play to craft. Very similar to Final Fantasy XIV, where you actually have to play to craft, but in a completely different way. It was very weird. Like, you would have targets, like, and you'd be like throwing darts at the target to try to get closer to the center for a better craft. Just weird shit. Or some of the items were drops off of enemies and bosses in dungeons. So you had to go out of your way to find these different things. Not everything that I want to use is on this housing vendor. There was very early in Wildstar housing, because Wildstar very much... It did! I'm playing on a private server, Apollo. Also, welcome in. Wildstar has this thing called Katya Builder Toolkit. Katya was a very beloved member of the community, and she created a toolkit for us to make it easier to build things. And one of the things that she had is the decor shopper, which will let me search up all the items. So like, let's say that I want a like a platform of some sort. I can just search platform and it'll give me all of the different platforms that exist. Now on live, it would show me the ones that would exist and then tell you where to find them. Like I could search the auction house for it. But this version, because this is the private server, it lets me just add whatever items I want to the crate so that then I can use it. And you'll see me using that later this afternoon or this evening, because I'm going to be building stuff on Gilder's plot, and I'm going to have to grab stuff from this almost certainly. But we'll go back to Rem, just so now you can see the difference. I've been slowly rebuilding my character list too. So now you can see I've covered the initial like platform, which takes actually a glitch and some finesse. And you can see how much work actually went into this. Yeah, it's been dead for a while, Apollo, but it's you can play on a couple different private servers. It does not have combat. It doesn't have questing. But it does have housing. And for me, that's probably the most important thing, as evidenced by this. You can't even tell that it was that square. That's the mark of a good plot, when you load in and you can't tell that you're actually standing on that floating square. It's a private server. They don't have the server binaries, so they're rebuilding it from scratch. So we'll do the jumping puzzle, or at least try to. I don't have something that's also missing is the sprint button, which is awful because this was made specifically with sprint in mind. You can see I have like guard towers over here. If you look out across the distance, there is all these trees for to make it look like we're in the jungle. However, if I were to go in edit mode, you can see that I can actually select the trees because I placed them. There's little things down here, like I made sure that I had walls covering the entire thing, and there's a little like discovery burrow down there. You used to be able to find those out in the open world, and they would give you items. Back here, you can see I actually have NPCs mining the loftite crystals from the rock and carving it in. But coming around here, my jumping puzzle. Little jump over there. If you mess it up, it'll actually slide you down into there, and you can see there's actually a drain down there if you look through the water. Come up here, and this is a dead end, and there's a warning symbol that will tell you that this is new, but it'll tell you like you will get impaled on the fucking loftite if you're not paying attention. Rip to that Protostar employee. Come around here, do some jumps. Try not to hit your head off of the thing. Slide up. This was easier when you had sprint. Now you can either try to take the route where you jump through the water and land on the mossy ledge, or I have loftite crystals or platforms that are floating that you can go and land on. These are new. I had one that I had placed, if you look in the video, I had one that I had built out of just a rock that I had then placed in the air and then added a bunch of crystals. These were added in with the private server updates, which means that now I can actually have proper floating loftite crystals that actually have like a little floaty animation. Jump over here. Jump over to the loftite cage, which doesn't normally have this chain or this anchor. I built that myself. Make your way up here. Congratulations, you made it up to the top of the thing, kind of. I have an NPC up here chilling, because she made it up here. I also have another NPC that's curdled up in the net as if they fell. Once again, I want to note that this Flitterfly NPC is something I actually placed. I'm up here. Make it up here. Congratulations, you are the winner. There's the flag for the victor. And then when you're up here, you can see that this is actually like a pump. Walking up here, let me go ahead and snooze the ads again. Something that I added recently was these floating windmills for power generation. And I had to run these cables, which when I say run these cables, I mean they are individual static meshes that are a pain in the ass to actually work with. Because they don't want to actually do what you want them to do. They're not like something I choose from point A to point B. I actually have to manually place each individual one and get everything to line up. But I have created these windmills, which are made out of a floating signpost and the windmill blade. Over on this one, you can kind of see it from here, but there's a little dude working on repairing this one, like a little floating robot. And then I ran a cable over to here, which connects to a generator, which we'll go visit in a second. Over on this side, I also added some more floating windmills with wires and a little generator over here too. Nobody will ever see it unless I show it to them, but like this generator actually has a spark placed inside of it to make it actually have electricity. And then I have a cable, which is, this is not part of it, but this is a cable that makes it look like it's moving power. And then over here I have the satellite dish for us to get TV. Just placed on the side. Hidden in the back down here is how you get into Rem's house. There's a little ladder built into the wall. So Rem's desk, all of this stuff has been manually placed. There's a little like CB radio that I have like a wire connecting to run out that's not normally there. I built that. Rem's plushie collection, his hover hammock, towels and stuff for changing. New thing added was a job board up here for him to take on jobs and check on things. And then his various collection of treasures and artifacts and things like that. Another little diminisher bot. This one's new as well. This was his. The relic crate is brand new. This crate was basically empty and I jammed a whole bunch of junk into it because it made sense. These are rolled up rugs, but I made them look like blinds. The things you do to make things work. See, tribal floor mat rolled. And then I added a chain to it. Same thing up here. I added a net and then a whole bunch of stuff for storage. And you get in and out by jumping up here through the things. It's a little hard sometimes because everything in this game is fucking slippery. But we made it out. Over to the middle here, this is where I have my science platform, basically. I actually hosted a couple meetings of what was called Friday Night Science here. That's not floating, is it? No. Which was a group where people would hang out and do science. And I am so proud of the upgrades to this telescope, y'all. I am so proud of the upgrades to this thing. Just for comparison's sake, I'm going to show you the telescope as it was again. There's the telescope in this area as it was. Here, I'll get the same angle. Here's as it was. Here's how it is now. I am so proud of the upgrades I made to this thing. Like, I have like a nice lens here. I have a real lens here at the end. Lots of like little metal supports now and like concave metal pieces and things like that. An actual support along the side here. Oh, you can't see my mouse, I just realized. And then 2 structural supports to make it look like it actually is a thing. I also have... we'll do one last snooze and then Twitch is going to force me to take an ad break. This is a new item that was added in called Ominous Crater, and it has this floating thing in it. It's just an orb with this floating thing in it, and it keeps changing around the inside of the orb, just like that. But I added like a containment unit and then some effects around it, like the banner effect at the top, and then the spinny like lines and technology and stuff. That's all stuff that I've added in to give it a more of a presentable look to it. Same thing over here. Like I replaced this crystal with something else. This is Rem's ship. This is his own little personal transport ship. It is based off of multiple parts that I put together. It is not just something you place down. It is actually built from pieces. I've replaced this whole thing with a proper Protostar one. I didn't have one back in the day, but now there's one here. And I added new NPCs who are buying from the vendor, basically. Also, I went through and added hover pads. Here, I'll go into Flitterfly form. I added hover pads to each of the corners here now, so it makes more sense that it's lifted up besides more than just this big plate in the middle. Some other things that I added were like the mossy like overgrowth underneath the various things. These are new just to make things look like time has passed and the jungle is trying to reclaim some of the area. Little things. Nobody will notice that there's a Vind flying here. You guys always ask what the hell a Vind is. This is a Vind. This is what a Vind looks like. They're little floaty weasel newt things. They go newt newt. They're super cute. That's a Vind. Also, they can puff up like a balloon. Wonder if I can activate the Vind. No. And then just around the outside edge, I added little things like there's a TARDIS chilling here. Over here, we have another Dominion spy trying to come in and break up the thing with some guards. A beastkin bat. I need to replace these guards with cogs, but with some guards hanging out, and then another one watching from up here. There's another guard chilling up in a tower up here. Dude's just enjoying a nice fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon or whatever, and it's his one of many. Somebody lost a beach ball back here. Can't get through there because that's actually a thing that I've made giant. Over here is a Chua drill that has come up through it. I also have my little alarm monitors things. There's another guard standing watch, or potentially an exile trying to make their way in. That's trying to break the little truce that's going on here. Another guard chilling up here watching the entrance. What else do I have on the outside? I have little things around all over the place. My little burrow. I swear I had one more thing out here. Can't recall. Oh, because this is artificial, if you peek around here, you can actually see a entrance into the inner workings for like the piping and stuff like that. And I've built a little scaffold and things to make it look like somebody has to access that at some point. What else am I missing? I swear I'm missing something. But maybe not. Oh, there's just piping back here for the shower. Why? Because I want to make stuff look like it exists. It's kind of just my thing. I really want to make it look like these places are lived in and they're used and real. These heads often appear out in the world, and a lot of times when you find skulls or heads or something, the devs used to put a little flower pot on top of it, so I put one on top of this one just for fun. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, up at the top here, in case anybody finds their way up here, I've got cooling and evaporating units, some danger signs, and then somebody has lost a deflated soccer ball on the top. I think that's everything. Oh, things that are new, I placed these stairs. People used to just walk on top of the roof, and now there's actually stairs up and down the roof to get from over here to there. Also, this used to just be flat. I added this RN roof system here, along with these little crystal thingies. And then also added these hanging flowers. And then you can just climb up here to get to the top, which is a couple of those octopus towers stacked on top of each other. All in all, very happy with the upgrades I've made to this one. Interior-wise, I haven't done as much, but I have done some. So, interior music and wallpaper and flooring and stuff is currently broken. But you can normally change, normally change the ceiling, the trim for the whole building, the wallpapers, the floor, the lighting. Which I had, I think, really dark room for mine. Apollo, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome in. Pretty sure I had mine set for really dark room back in the day, but it doesn't save currently. And you can change your music in here too. I've replaced the TV with a much nicer one, and made space for people to actually use more of the stage. All of these items are hand placed. The thing I like to do the most when I'm building is actually making the little fiddly bits to make it seem like places are being used and lived in. So, like, these are like movie props on displays around the room, for example. And then these are movie posters along the wall. And up here, the changes aren't that dramatic. I added some NPCs to some of the places to make it more lively, especially on a smaller community. It lets people come in and actually have a little more immersive experience. So there's a few different NPCs in here chilling now. Didn't do really anything here except add a water drop to the sink because I thought it would be funny. This microwave is something that I built from like a crate and a couple screens and a touchpad. Replaced one of the arrows here with better arrows. And then up here, I had a mannequin for the dealer bot, and now the dealer bot is a actual serve bot robot. You can see that these are actually the movie posters shrunk down really tiny. There's an arcade machine. I had a jukebox up here, but the jukebox is currently broken. It spawns a copy of itself on top of itself whenever you place it down. I don't know why. So I've taken it out and put an ATM machine in currently. Nice little area. Clyzen, did you see that we have new emotes? Like /lounge. Chair sit. Normal sit. Sleep. There's actually 3 lounge emotes. There's one like this. It's like, what you thinking about? Lounge 2, which is sort of chilling on your side. And this could be different for each of the races, I'm not sure. And lounge 3. Twitch is forcing me to do an ad break against my will. I've already delayed it as much as I could. So we will be right back in a few minutes, gang. I will see you all on the other side. We're going to go through some more up here, and then we'll head over to the other plot. Go stretch your own leggies. That's not the music I wanted to play. We'll just let the music here play. I'll be right back. Hi, Nines. 1 second, we'll be... I'm trying to get a criminal out of my room. Come on, criminal, let's go. Piper, right as we were sitting down to have dinner and watch Star Trek this evening, Piper smashed one of, well, my last double wall, clear, completely clear glass mug. Hi, Tricky Deuterium. So they are a branch off of Nexus Forever. Nexus Forever is the project to recreate the Wildstar servers as they were entirely. So the plan would be that as Nexus Forever commits and adds more features, they will merge into the Wildstar servers features. So, or the WSRP features. There are other servers other than this one. This one's primarily for the RP community. Nexus Forever itself is not a server host. They are very clear about that. That's how they are staying out of trouble with NCSoft, is they are not hosting a server. They are merely rebuilding the server architecture from scratch. So hopefully one day we'll have something akin to it, but we will see. But yeah, so this was Rem's plot. I'm working on submitting it to be a public RP venue in WSRP. I very much believe it's ready to go. It was ready beforehand, but now I've done a lot of upgrades to it, and I'm very happy to where it is now. And just so people can see, like, some of the things you can do with this. I don't want to mess with REMs too much, but something I will change here. You can change the music, but if I go to remodel, I can, like, change the sky, like the whole skybox and weather and color scheme, for example. Just picking the right sky changes the entire vibe of a plot. And there's tons of them. Like, we could say, instead of this being in Wilderrun, where it is now, it could be in one of the biomes on the moon. So this is a broken biome. But you can see up above that there's now a shield. Here's a functioning biome. So the lights are still on. But we're in a sphere on the moon now. Or there could be fires in the distance. So it's really dark. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to fully switch from one thing to another. Here, if I hit cancel, it should switch quickly. Yeah, there we go. Everstar fires now. So we've got, like, wispies in the air of, like, ash and smoke. Or we could just be hurtling towards the planet. I'm not sure what Grand Nova is. I don't remember Grand Nova. Doesn't look particularly interesting. Limbo. This was Limbo Infomatrix, which was a room in one of the dungeons, which was, like, very desert-like. Maelstrom. Man, fuck Maelstrom. This is Maelstrom Authority. Maelstrom Authority was a room in a dungeon, and it was, like, it tilted like that, and it actually, like, made me motion sick when I played it. Let's see. There's also cute ones like this one. This is Platform Skyline. It just has some cute little clouds. Some happy little clouds. And then, let's see, what's the... I usually like to do Starry Night. Usually when I'm like role-playing like night scenes, I'll put on Starry Night on here because it's fucking beautiful. And my plot really like shines with Starry Night. All the colors pop and everything. And then there is... This one's funny. What if the sky was filled with pop-up messages telling you to buy shit? I love it. It's great. Anyway, we're going to switch over to Gilder. Gilder is one of my other characters. Gilder was the second plot I ever fully finished, and I thought I had lost his plot forever. I was certain that I had lost his plot forever. Because for whatever reason, under KBT, Catch a Builder Toolkit, you can back up your whole plot, right? Go to Set Manager. Here's all my characters. And under Gilder, for some reason, instead of his backup list, I just had these individual item sets, which was fucking weird. I don't know why they are here, but they were. A lot of these characters didn't even get plot backups. These are all like my different characters. And then under Rem, I had my plot backup exterior and interior, and then I have Savannah's plot exterior interior. TARDIS, Windmill. I saved somebody else's plot, but Catch a Builder Toolkit has a thing called Snapshot. And Snapshot was primarily used if you were trying to mess around with housing plugs. Housing plugs are these, where you place little like prefab things in here. Like, good example of a housing plug. Let's see, this what? Arc Terraform Trader, there's nothing there. Underground Casino. So this little casino here, some of this is a prefab. Because we didn't actually have the tools to place crashed spaceships or, you know, stuff like that. So this underground casino is one. I don't think the teleporter works. It does not. There's a teleporter that actually takes you to a casino underground. So when you're placing fab kits down, any of the decor that was in their place would be shifted and out of place and broken. And sometimes, for whatever reason, you had to lift the fab kit up and then put it back down. So you could do /K snapshot, and then you could, once you place the fab kit back down, do /K restore, and it would save your, it would take all the items that were there and shuffle them all back to the right places. What I discovered looking through XML files was that Gilder's plot had a K snapshot on it at least once near the end of the game. But snapshots are not saved in plot lists. So I did some XML shit today, and I managed to insert the snapshot into the standard Builder Toolkit XML as its own set, and I was able to replace it earlier this afternoon. So what you're seeing here is, in fact, it's not perfect, because there is some things missing, but what you're seeing here is a very close copy of Gilder's plot when it was done, when the game shut down. Now, this is a region called Arcterra that I was trying to build. And this is supposed to be an Osin Soulforge facility in Arcterra that has been turned into a black market pirate and marauder trading post and sort of club area. Because Gilder is a mercenary. And just, you can see I did really good at covering the fact that this is not a plot. I actually managed to get ice all the way out as far as you can see when I was filling in the background, and even had like hills and stuff, so that it looks like it's just based off the mountains. And I want to show you how good I did at building this because I'm really proud. Gilder's plot was one of my ones that I was most proud about, like really recreating the vibe. A moody yellow Arctic fox, nice. I was really proud about recreating the vibe of the actual area, so I'm going to go to Arctera. This is Arctera. This is the actual area. And let me... do I have another mount? Let me get him a mount. I want a mount that isn't this one. I think he used to ride a Uniblade, if I remember correctly. Must provide a message for this reward. Thank you, Lily. I did have some water. I've been talking a lot and actually not having water, so... did he ride a grinder? Did he ride a... I think he rode a Uniblade. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna say it was probably an Exile Uniblade. Gimme. Take. And we'll go here and mount up. Yeah, this looks like Gilder's mount. This game had a really fun mount system. It had hoverboards and weird balls and all kinds of stuff, but yeah, so I was trying to recreate the vibe of Arctera, which is where we are now. And there's no NPCs here, unfortunately. Arctera's NPCs, I don't think, ever got copied, or they haven't decoded the table for them yet. But I feel like I did okay hitting that Arctera vibe with how I've built the area up. This was the last area, no, second to last area they added to the game. This was a whole big patch called Destination Arctera. And it was really cool. I loved the Arctera zone. Still do. It's very pretty. It's one of the prettiest MMO zones I've ever played in. But the final zone that got added was just a tiny little floating island in space that was supposed to be part of the Halon Ring, which is the asteroid belt. It turns out that the rest of the zone was still there, but it was just very deep below the point of the asteroid belt that we got to teleport into. So it, because the devs didn't have time to finish it or release it, so they just moved like a little island up, like far enough up that it was out of the way, and then added a Death Collider underneath. But the Halon Ring's actually there. So... but back to my house. Or Gilder's. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job capturing Arctera's vibe in my plot. Really glad this survived, but it needs some work. It needs to be made upgraded now, the way I upgraded Rems. So I've done a little work on the inside. It's a little buggy getting into the house. There we go. But the inside is meant to be a place for pirates and marauders and bad folk of all kinds to come in and do some trading and stuff. So I have an area for weapon trading for the Dark Spur cartel here. I need to add another NPC here. I have... what is making that noise? Something is making some noise down here. Oh, it's that. Okay. That's got to go away if that's making that noise. All right, hold on. I have to fix something. Also, this actually is a door. This was completely empty. By the way, there were no walls or anything here. I had to place all these walls. I know, Al. The entrance to this also had no floor. There's no floor at all in here. I had to build an upper floor. All of this clutter is stuff that I've added in. NPCs working on things. This dude sitting here watching monster TV, like monster movies. This is a big chain that fell down. This guy's working on cutting into pieces now. There's actually another door here. I would have music in here. You could set music for different rooms, so I actually had music down here that was like... Yes, I've been rebuilding stuff. He had music down here that... Hold on, actually, wait a second. I'm stupid. I can show you. I recorded it. How dare you? Just turn the audio off for a second. So this is what it looked like when it was fully built back at the time. I recorded a video for this one too. Because I thought it was going to be the last that I'd ever see of it, you know? The landing pad's something I want to work on here. I have some new ships to place on it. Some new plans for it. Just has a nice vibe to it. You'll notice it's not snowing in the video, and that's because I've actually found an effect that causes a snowfall. Over here is where some people are making moonshine. There's our crashed ship. There would normally be NPCs for it, but the NPCs don't currently spawn. Over here is also where my little lop bar trader is. It's right there. Normally the far trader is just sort of out in the open, but I built stuff around him. I sort of tried to build... Yeah, there's the trader, and it's a vendor. Go inside. And you can see that I've already changed around some of the NPCs in the front. I'm taking out just the standard Exile and Dominion NPCs. And I'm putting in stuff that... Because I didn't have Marauder NPCs at the time. I've already made changes there. All of that has been switched around. I have a different door in the back. I have a Darkspur logo instead of that. My Chua is still there, but I've added an Igloo in the back, as well as a little, like, zombie hand holding down the lop. Shady Aran counterfeit salesman is still there, but I've changed around some of the portraits. You can see that this actually had a very, like, dark red vibe in here and very smoky and hazy. I want to bring that back eventually. Because the vibe is definitely different when I don't have the lighting for it. You can see that dude's not sitting down. And why did that get so big? I don't remember making it that big. Oh well, that's fine. I think there's some stuff missing from down here too. But down here, you can see that I've made some major changes to the DJ booth, or you'll see it in a second. Swapped out some NPCs. The arcade room has gotten some changes. That back, all right. That's right, I had different, like, flooring and shit in here. It was more of a 90s arcade, like, skating room. I'll have to fix that once it, once I have the option to actually change the walls and everything. Lighting does a lot for these areas, so I'm sad that I don't have the option to change that yet, but it'll get fixed. I have my little warp core with dual DJ stations. Yeah. So looking at it now, I'm gonna unmute it. So it's way brighter than it needs to be. Hold on, I need to get rid of that crown. It's driving me insane. Stop making noise. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely less atmosphere to it because it's not dark the way it needs to be. But I'm making do. Added some more dancing NPCs around here. You can see that my warp core now has more effects going for it. I have a nice brighter light in there. I have this ring light around the outside. These lights are green right now for some reason. They were red earlier. I don't know why. They must change color on their own. I'm not sure. These were fucking red earlier. I'm very confused why they're now green. I have no idea. Over to the little areas where people can sit. I added some tagging, spray painting on the walls. And these are all individual cushions all placed to make a... I'm not showing you the thing. Why didn't nobody tell me I'm showing the screen? Now we have to do that over again. So you can see the... You can see that it doesn't have the atmosphere. But I've redone my warp core. I haven't redone it. I've enhanced my warp core. With some lighting. There's a ring around the dance floor now. My DJ booth has had a major upgrade. So I now have an auto DJ that looks like Avitus, which is the bad AI. I've added in this cool, like, central DJ booth for people. And then I upgraded the dueling DJ sections in the back with these things instead. Turntables. This dance floor was placed down as well by me. What I've also done, because I can now place NPCs that are not just like small little packs that Carbine offered. I can place like the various types of characters in the game like that you would face. I added a Darkspur Cartel corner. So it's like two of the corners are owned basically by the various pirate and marauder factions. So you've got the marauders here with, you know, their muscle, their captain, some more muscle, a thing inside of one of their boots trying to break out. And they've spray painted their decal on the walls. Over here you have the Darkspur Cartel. And he's on a platform back there raised up, and they've got, you know, business dealings. Inside the arcade, the wall used to have that nice... This room had like the perfect, you walked into a skating rink that had an arcade in the 90s vibe, but I can't bring that back until I can get the walls and stuff and floors that it had. But I added in another arcade machine. This one's broken. I've got a dude working to fix it, basically. Someone else is playing this arcade machine, and this one's open. I also added in another vending machine for people to use. A lot of work goes into this. And I just trapped myself in a door. Come on back down. Thank you. The clutter even on the floors is all stuff that I've hand placed because it's like really important to me that places feel lived in and used. So added a job board here. I want to add some more stuff to it. So that's going to be one of the first things we do. Also, you can see that now I've added a whole bunch of new paintings back there with her so that they have something new. Over here, we have my Lop NPC being held down by a zombie hand on the box because they're smuggling a Lop. And there's like a new NPC back there working. I've changed this so this is a Darkspur area now. I've replaced all the NPCs in here. I added a little battle bot for them and then a Punchatron thing. And they're weapons dealers. And then I replaced the door back there with an Osen door. In here, I accidentally placed this right before I had to go to dinner. I'm going to take him out. He can go away. I wanted to do something else here, though. I just don't know what yet. The bar is made of glass with the tables are chains that are hanging with walls placed inside of them to make them like neat tables. And then you, of course, have these individual tables that I've created with the half circles. I added some lighting to the bar to give it more of a standout glow. Why are they green now? I don't understand why the spotlights are green now. I have no idea why the spotlights are green. They were red when I was in here earlier today.
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
Okay. Thanks, bud. Sometimes NPCs talk to you. So, we need to make some updates to the outside before I start doing more work on the inside. Because NPCs don't spawn with things anymore, I had to go in and replace my my Lop trader because she would normally be standing right here and actually would be a vendor, but she is gone. So I've replaced her with a standing NPC with a guard. There's someone looking to buy out here with another guard, one of the Krog dudes. They have a caravan in here now. I placed another Lop over here who is a card shark and definitely cheats people. You can't go in the underground casino. It does not work. This teleport doesn't work, sadly. Let's see. Same thing over here. I need to get some NPCs over here around the tent and everything because this is from the crashed ship. What I had tried to do, what I thought was really cool, was I tried to tie them together. So this is the crashed ship and like all the debris field, but then back here, both of these plugs are also crash ship related. So I tried to tie it all together, like maybe this ship collided with this other ship and they both crashed down here in Arctera, right around this processing station. To try to, you know, once again, tell small stories with just the environment. I made a little jumping puzzle here, which isn't much, but to get up here, there's also a crashed exile ship, and I want to do something with that for sure.
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
Thanks, bud. That said NPC there, he's always very mean to me. Okay, so I want to make some changes here because I do not need this many. I don't need an exile fighter and I don't need a marauder fighter. I think the only Darkspur ship I have is that fighter, so I think that one has to stay. So I already added these. You go to spaceships. I have a Marauder Raider, a Merchant Ship, a Bandit Raider. Okay. I definitely want to put a Marauder Raider here. Because I want a real Marauder ship here because they have a presence here. So get them actually stuck here, and I think that they load out from the back. No, they must. Where's the exit? The exit's in the front. Okay. We're gonna angle it. Take a step back here. We'll angle it like this so that the door has a place to open and drop. Cool. Now I need another ship over here. Don't need an exile one. Maybe I leave it open. Oh my god, why is that so big? That one's huge. That one actually has the front gate open too. Huh. I don't know that I add that one. I also have this merchant ship, which I'm planning on adding somewhere. My plan was, look how big this fucking thing is. My plan was to throw this as high up in the sky as I can, and then shrink it to make it look like it's sort of in orbit. Okay, where's your... Let's go up. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna use decor controls here. Decor editor, this is easier if I do it like this. Hold Alt, and I can just send it up with a few clicks instead. As high as it wants to go? Okay. Alright. I think what I have to do is get outside the map and get above it, and then place it again. I can fly up as kind of high as I want. Okay, we'll come back to that. We will come back to that.
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
But you keep saying that. I'm going to actually send you to the Shadow Zone. Okay, actually that's really funny because that's a Fem Aran saying that with the big husky man voice. So actually they're staying because that's very funny. Let me go to my decor shopper. I must have something that I can do here. Go just back to spaceships. I don't want an Ichthian fighter because Ichthians actually aren't friends with anyone. They straight up just kill people. Same thing for the transport ships. Unless... Hold on. Because... Oh, no. I'm cooking here. Hold on. Give me a sec. I'm cooking. I know what I'm doing. Give me a piglet ship. Add it to cart. I'll try 2 different versions of this. if there is no Darkspur ship, like proper Darkspur ship, then we make a Darkspur ship. Because the fighter isn't good for a crew. The fighter's just a fighter, right? So why did you not add to my crate? I thought I hit add to crate on them. Did I not? Okay. There we go. We place a piglet ship down. That one's too big. Maybe we try the dark one. Yeah, okay, we'll place the dark one down. We'll reduce its size so it's not that fucking massive. And I think that the piglet opens from the front as well. So that's good. Place. And what we'll do is we will do a color switch. It says black and white, but it actually is blue. Interesting. So what we can do is we can do a hue shift to make it like a... That's purple. That's blue. That's a darker blue. Oh, that looks correct. Okay. What about this one? No. That one looks correct. There we go. So we do a hue shift. Now that's the right colors. Now I'm just going to go and do Darkspur. Not great. I need to go to Darkspur decal. I just fucking place a decal on it, dummy. Put one in each side. We have Darkspur at home. Because there are Darkspur ships like this out in the world. This one actually is the Grimvoid ones. I think I don't see the actual Marauder thing, so I'm going to get a Marauder decal too. We'll make it smaller. It's like a projection. We can do something like... Where do I want to put it? I don't know where they're supposed to be. I think they're on the wings, but it's not too small to put on the wings, so I think we'll put it on the top. Yeah, that looks good. It looks kind of dumb from the side, though. Damn. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess this is their face because it has the teeth and everything, so maybe not. Maybe it's fine. You know what? It's fine. We're just gonna drop that like that. All right, so we have our Darkspur ship. We have our Marauder ship. Go to spaceships. Don't want to do those. A lot of these I have to build, which I do not have the attention span for anymore. I mean, I can leave one open, right? Like, leaving one open means that there's space for somebody else to dock here. So maybe I leave one open. That makes sense. Okay, so...
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
I added snow. around here. These are snow flurries. Normally I wouldn't have snow when I'm out here on with this weather, but I think that snow flurries are good. I do need to make sure that they're facing the same direction. Angled that way. I think they're facing the same direction, but let me check. Rotate negative 7.15, negative 7. Yeah, they are. Okay. Okay. But there was one that I was looking to use earlier that was Snow Devils. So let me like put that up there. No, let's put it somewhere like somewhere where players aren't normally, like over here. Maybe I make it the recurring one. Sort of like a Dust Devil, but snow. Oh, I can put it out there. Can I make it bigger? I think I can't see it because I'm outside of its radius. That may be the case. Okay, what about one that's like right there? Or do they not scale? Sometimes the effects don't scale, so... Okay. We're just gonna throw one like... there. Out in the ice, because that makes sense. Will you place, please? Unable to place decor. Got it, because it's outside the area. Okay. That's alright. We have other places we can put it. Oh, now I can make it bigger. I can make it fucking gigantic here. Oh, you know what might be fun, actually? Put it around the central pillar. So we take it. Yaw 0, pitch 0, roll does not matter. Scale it up a bit. And I want to do recurring, because recurring actually makes more sense. Scale it up a bit. And what we're going to do is wrap it around. Not roll Fuck. Okay, let's do that again. This time with feeling. Place it on the middle. Drag it down. I'm too high up. I do kind of wish that there was a ceiling so that I would know how high I can place something. Here, let's actually place it first so I don't have to keep pulling it from the thing. 0, enter, 0, enter, 0, enter. Place. I've reset that. Make it bigger. And then drag it inside so that it wraps around like that. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! That fucking rocks, actually. I need to place it back a little more. Okay. This way. This way. A little bigger again. A little bit smaller. Okay, so when you load in now, you see this thing, and there's a swirly like snow thing around the ice up there. And what we can do to increase that to make it seem more interesting particle effects, and we're going to go to, I think there's light beam. I want to add a light beam from there. Let's see. Ooh, I should add some fog to the ground. Because it's cold, right? So there should be fog to make it seem like it's, you know, like a mist wall. This could do it. How's this look? No, that's a literal mist wall. Okay. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I have a lot of options. Light beam, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. If you're not looking at the emitter, you lose it. Can I change its color? No, it is always blue. I'm gonna place this thing. Go ahead and turn off advanced mode and we'll just drag it up there first. My fucking lightsaber. Turn advanced mode back on. Change the yaw, change the pitch. Rotate it so it's normal. Oh, you know what this could be? Okay, hold on. Make it smaller like this. And this could be the SOS beacon from the ship that's crashed up here. And what I can do, oops, I made it too small. What I can do is I can actually place a little beacon of some sort here. So let me see.
Go climb a tree.
Thank you. Appreciate your attachment. Yeah, there's a settler beacon, there's a beacon plug, and there's a transmission beacon. The transmission beacon's too big. Settler beacon feels like it. That feels right. That feels like it would be maybe an SOS beacon for the ship that's crashed. Yeah. Let me just adjust it so it's facing upright. Angle it maybe just a little. Grab the light beam. We'll move it into this. Move the emitter just above. Okay, there's our SOS beacon for our crash ship up here. And this has a ever so slight adjustment of negative 9.54. I'm going to give that same thing here. Negative 9.5. Put back in. So now when you come in, you can... It's only when you get close that the beacon goes off. That's actually okay with me. because maybe it looks like it's been activated. Now this I need to change. I don't want this to be a Marauder fighter. I want this to be an Exile fighter, because if we have a homing beacon, to me that means like there was exiles out here and they got shot down and crashed, and they're sending a call for help. So I'm gonna copy this thing's position and then create it, and then I'm gonna go in here and get a fighter for exile. Okay, I gotta get it from my decor shopper. Darkspur fighter, slim exile fighter. There we go. Add to crate. I'm also going to add a ruined fighter wing. Add that to crate. So what we're going to do is go to my crate, go to my fighter, exile, click place, and just place it. No, slim exile. I'm going to place it initially, grab it, and I'm going to paste, and it got put exactly where the last one was that was crashed. I'm gonna adjust it like this a little bit, because I want the wing to be missing, because I'm gonna throw the wing down here that I just picked up. There we go. Now that now there's like, again, it's sort of telling a story. And the wing is slightly the wrong color, but legitimately nobody's going to notice unless you know about it ahead of time. So now we've got the crash ship, we've got the beacon, they've been having some beer, so we need a pilot. FCON pilot. There's lots of beer. This is going to be a Granok. And I'm going to put her over here first. Yeah, here's our exile pilot. He's just chilling. Literally. I wish I could make her sit down, but I can't. Maybe I can add like an ice shelf back here and have her over there so she's like waiting out of the wing. That makes sense. Ice. Okay. Ice crackle collision texture. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I could make use of that. Maybe like over here. Yeah, that might make sense over here a little bit. Ice formation, massive. What I have here, right? Or no, I don't think. Ice ledge style 1. Style 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ice rock shards, okay. Snowy ice platform, there we go. That's kind of what we want. Where's the snow? Well, let's place it and see how it looks. Kind of looks out of place compared to this because it's not as translucent. I think I'm not going to actually use that. I'm going to go to my decor shopper. Oh, Twitch wants to run another ad. Time flies when we are having fun, and I'm having a lot of fun showing you how this works. I wonder if Arctera brings up anything. Yeah, there we go. This is the good ice. This is the good. Okay. We will be back. Twitch needs to run another ad. So I'll see you all in a couple minutes. I'm back. Okay, so let's go ahead and find some stuff to add. Let's see. What will look good? What other ice do I have? I could add some ice cap mushrooms and have them like sitting on an ice cap mushroom. I'll add that to the crate and we'll see how that looks. You know what might be cool? I have an idea. Add these all to the crate. God, silver chalices. We used to use this to make water. We used to take the silver chalice, flip it upside down, and make it gigantic to make water. Yeti cave. Oh, shit. Oh, that could be fun. We have options now, gang, for some fun stuff. Okay, so crates. Here's my thought. I do have this big thing here, and that's the whole Skelly Man, right? But what if another one was trapped inside this ice thing, right? So, not vendor, let's go to Ice Serpent Skull. We'll do something like this. Make it bigger. As bigger is better when it comes to this stuff. Just put it in like this, right? Place the jawbone here. Rotate that. Bigger. Hold on, what's the actual scale of that? 1.57? 1.57, let's match. And then we'll rotate this. So it's like that, right? And then what we'll do, we'll get solid ice chunk, I think. Stick it in the mouth. Eight, down, over, out. Oh, this rotation is really awful. Let's change this to world instead. I can sort of have a better handle of it. Go. I want it to be a little bit off. We don't want it to be like perfect. Maybe the block will look better. Get bigger. Rotate your ice. Rotate your ice with science. Make the block bigger. because it's translucent, you can actually see the thing through it. We'll do it like that, actually. That doesn't look too off. We'll make it a little better in a minute, but we'll drag our NPC over here, that they're hiding around the corner, watching their ship. So now, can't see them from this side, but if you climb up here, you can look at the beacon and someone's like, what the fuck? And they're hiding over here, watching their ship. We'll slide them over just a little bit, so that they're a little bit hidden. And what I gotta do, because I have the skull in there, right? I need to have some claws coming out of it, so... Okay, so they're not there. I have to go back to the decor shopper. Add 2 to crate. We'll add 3 to crate. I want to add 1 to the bottom as well. Make it look like there was an ice serpent climbing this ocean tower, and something happened and it got flash froze inside of it. Like, you know, the thing that caused the destruction of the Elden. That's like a perfect thing. There we go. That looks fucking great. And we'll have an...
Go climb a tree.
Let's see. Its head's over there. So we'll place another one, like, literally on the top. Doesn't have to make perfect sense. It just has to make a little bit of sense. Like I said, you just have to get 95% of the way there. And it all works out. There we go. Is that actually in there? Or... yeah, it is. Cool. So, we've got our ice serpent here that was trying to climb up. Something happened. Actually, that's a little too far. Bring this one up here. Let's like put it around. What if it's this fucking ice skull thing that I put here a million years ago? What if this is the thing that caused it to happen? Like it touched this and it caused the quick freeze. This is a game where magic is a thing. And what's cooler than like a weird artifact with skull around it, or with a... not skull around it, but claws around it from something that died. Closer. But again. Closer. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. This is working out really well. Oh, this is working out super well. And then what I want to do is have like one more. See, the body's twisted this way. Like one more facing down and out for the hind claws. Just a little something. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be there. That's all that matters. I don't remember what this thing is even called that I'm selecting. I made something so big. I don't even have a selection thing on it. That's okay. We're making stuff work, and that's what matters. And I'm eating cookies.
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
Okay, so we have our swirly bits up there. We have our crashed ship now. We've told several little stories within the environment. So we got the crashed ship with the pieces leading up. There's the fucking help me God beacon with the pilot hiding around the corner on this weird jaw thing. But now we needed a reason for that to be there. So we have twisted up another ice serpent inside of the ice pillar. And then we made this thing potentially the reason why the ice pillar's even there. And it does make it look a little bit magic. Okay. Let me see. Decor shopper. Something I wanted to add more of this time was some Soul Frost stuff, which is because this was meant to be a Soul Frost processing facility. Wondering how I can make that look good. Because this is like a pool of Soul Frost. But I don't have anything going with it. It's just sort of chilling here. I'd like to make it do something. Hello, Bloodheart Tree. What do you do? Oh. Oh, that's crazy. I do have some Osin things like frozen out here. But I can do better now. I have the technology. And also, it just makes my brain work. Why do I have a ruined Elden Pillar? I don't think I need an Elden Pillar out here. I don't think that adds anything to it because there's nothing Elden out here. Okay, decor shopper. And what we're gonna do is see if we can't make some of this stuff look even cooler. And I don't actually have all that many options for Soul Frost conduits. I want to make a junction that goes from the pool into the thing. What does this even look like? Bulk frost conduit cap, but I have the tubes. I have that skull, which is already up there. Go ahead and add that to my crate so I can use that at some point. Soul Frost Elementals might be good. Ooze. Puddle. Oh, something that I have. Here's something to show you. So you saw that everything's flat, but you can see that mine is very much not flat.
Go climb a tree.
They gave us things called Protostar Insta-Hills pretty late in the game's life that lets you manipulate and create ground texture. I was able to do that with also snow mounds and things in order to make it not flat. Okay, so here's what I think. I think that this thing is summoning a goddamn Soul Frost Elemental because it's just been sitting here for way too long. So, crate. Elemental. We're going to grab all three and see which one we like the most for this project. They're basically the same thing, but slightly bigger than each other. We're gonna go with the biggest one. Okay. He's being summoned out of the pool. Interesting. Yeah, I don't need this. This is a little much. That makes it look like the whole thing's flooded, which I also think is a little bit much. What if I place it under? Oh, the effect doesn't work. Okay, that's okay. But that's not going to happen. That's okay. I'm going to throw some puddles around. And some ooze. Because what we have here is a Soul Frost leak. That's in the ground. Place that there. That's even coming out of the pipe. That's great. You also be from a pipe. Thank you. There's a big one here, so I want to do a conduit. Which I did grab. I want to see what this looks like. Does it not actually, like, have anything cool? Is it literally just a line? No, that's not fun. Okay, so here's what we gonna do. Get some tubes. Tube, tube, tube. Well, alter. Add that to create. I don't know that I'm going to use it here, but I will add these anyway. I need some tubes. Add one of each. I think I like the mounted one because it's small enough to like kind of cut through here but not be a nightmare. When I place it, does Sulfur start funneling through it? Interesting. I swear they did in live.
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
I swear that they did in live because I had them lined in here. And now they're red again? I don't understand. I thought I had Soul Frost tubes in here. Got one there. I do have them here. They... Perfect way to look. I just look in the fucking video. They did! In live, they did have Soul Frost going. The conduits did too. I wonder why that's broken. I thought that there was something up. Who's online? No one. Okay. I'm actually going to go to the WSRP. One second. It's interesting because it makes it look like it's shut down, but it's supposed to look like this. But the texture is not working. That's disappointing because that's like a sort of a big part of this aesthetic.
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
I'm gonna set it up with the belief that it will one day get fixed. What we're gonna do, we're actually gonna run it like it's there, but we're gonna sync it. So it looks like it's connected from the pipe. But then it comes back out of the ice, like right there. I don't like the angle on it. I think... No, I need to change that. Always good. Yeah, that'll work. Because the pipe runs, and these are like little connectors. Pipe runs into that, connects this way, and then should have another one. Here's what we'll do. Another thing that Caddy's Builder Toolkit's really good at is I can fucking clone items. So copy clone. And send it on its way into the thing. Take that and combine that in until it looks like it just mixes. This game's very good about not doing lots of Z fighting, so we don't even notice that that's two things combined together. And there we go. It's run into the facility from the well. So, what we can do now is have there be leaks. I have that other leak over here. Let's take it and actually shove it into the... There we go. I like that a little better. So it looks like the frozen pipe is snapped, and now it's leaking out of that. Okay. We got the pipe running in there. We did pick up another thing. It was like a soul engine. What does this look like? It's small. It has space for 3 pipes. Guessing it's soul frost inside of it, but it's working. Could place this up here, for example. We can combine these decor into something interesting. Sink it in there. Like that. I love water, thank you. What I'll do is send this back. It looks like it's part of it back there. Yeah, and the pipe sort of leads out and then back around itself. Good night, Noelle. Hope I haven't bored you too much with my housing. So the way I want to do this actually is I'm going to line it up with this. That's like perfect. And now it looks like the elemental's being summoned from this device. Center? No, it's on center. Okay. Which is actually combined from multiple other items too. That basin is not the same as this. Oh, and he's sunk in, so he's going to be hard to move. That's okay. I like how that's set up, though. I could probably slide this back just a little bit more. Line with that. There we go. That's on the edge, and it's like filled with the stuff, or filling with the stuff. Think it a little further. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Oh, that combines really well. I'm happy with that. And it's summoned an elemental. So the people who work here, and by work I mean inhabit this place that they don't exactly know how it works. Interesting. Is that always the Elden one? I can't remember. Wasn't lava. Wasn't mossy stone. Was it basic ocean? I can't remember. Hey, look. That's the great thing about saving myself a picture. I don't think it was Elden. I think it was standard. Another angle of it, please. It was not Elden, it was Osen. There we go. That's more correct. Okay, that's correct because I set these fires here, this blue fire. The door is, I know, correct. Sky is correct. The roof is almost certainly correct. Because I have my ice that I placed. So, this thing has, yeah, this looks a lot better now. This thing has over 600 pieces of snow that have all been hand placed on these ledges and stuff. Hi, Glaceon. How you doing? I'd like to cover this up more if I can. Let's see. Oh, that's fucking huge, dude. Can I maybe make it big enough to cover that? No, it's not gonna work. I can do that. Nothing to see here. Just a thing that's very clearly faced the wrong way. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to cover that one. It's not that much of a problem. We're building houses in a dead game, Glaceon. Okay, so I'm gonna come back here to the landing pad. This is actually a sword shrine. It died in 2018, I want to say. Yep, 2018. I played it at launch. My friends and I got real mad at it because it was too difficult, even though we were fucking hardcore raiders in other games. So we quit, and then I came back for RP about a year later. And discovered it has the best fucking housing system in the entire market. And now it's dead. Why is that there and not over here? So did I. I saw the writing on the wall for Wildstar about a year before shutdown. And that's when I started my FF14 character. But I miss Wildstar too, Dana.
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
But I'm playing on one of the private servers, and I'm currently doing some housing. Let's go ahead and fix some of these NPCs. Put out an igloo. Who's reading the thing along with igloo never travel on their own. They always have a grund with them at the very least. I also enjoyed the PvP in this game. It was insane, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Let's see. Go ahead and put a grinder here from someone who is parked. Oh, and Aeon, that game sucked. Yeah. Okay, I have an ogre captain I can also have here, so maybe I just have another crew out here. Or, because these are marauders, I'll put the ogre captain up here. Yeah, so the captain's here. He just got off a ship. His dudes are down here. I'm gonna leave a Krog guy here. I don't want a Kingpin. I want a Krog Executioner, so I need to get one from the vendor. I thought I had a enforcer inside. Do I need to lurk and grab some pulled pork? Enjoy, Dana. Pulled pork sounds really good. I have to check what's down here. Fuck, I miss being able to gate. Gate was so good. What a good ability. Okay, what are you down here, dude? I thought that you were an enforcer. No, you're an executioner, so I gotta get an enforcer upstairs. Gleason, I was telling people earlier, I just recovered this build today, and I had to go through Cadia Builder Toolkit and like tear out the saved snapshot thing and turn it into a an actual set, and it took a like more brain power than honestly I had available. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want from this guy. But then I fucking cried because I got my plot back, and I was really proud of this one. So he's guarding his ship. He's up here waiting for his crew to stop being fucking assholes while they look at the teleportation console. Fucking summoning stone? What is this, World of Warcraft? Oh man, I used to use this actually. I used this as a TV initially. Color spacewalk things. Kind of want a wide screen display, but I thought there was another version of this that was even more fucked up. Yeah. Somebody had to fuck it up. I'm gonna have one over here that's just shattered. I will stretch, Nyargle, thank you. Honestly, I should go to bed, but I'm in the zone right now. On the ground. Rotate it. Bring it back this way. Bring it a little further so we can see some glass shards. I wonder if I can change its color a little bit to be blue like the other displays. Can I maybe give it a hue shift for it? I don't think so. Can do that. Good enough. Yeah, somebody fucking destroyed the thing. Oh, that's right. I had set these as like Dominion and Exile streamers, but it makes more sense to me that it's Darkspur and Marauder. Oh. And then the ones in the middle are not. How did I do that smartly? How did I make that happen? I should put a star sloop somewhere too. A little shitty smuggler one, maybe. Maybe have it parked like here. That on the ground because it's not floating. Angle it a little bit so it's not in the way of players who walk through. Yeah, that'll do. There's new hollow things. Let me take a look at these. Maybe I can make a use. Those are Legion. What's a Dominion Hollow BattleBot looks like? Like literally the same. Legitimately just a palette swap. Come on, give me that, thank you. I was thinking of some type of defense system for this, like a car alarm, sort of. Look through some of my items here, maybe. I gotta actually do that stretch. Hold on. Because my neck is starting to hurt. So I'm PNG tubing tonight instead of VTubing because it would just be me staring directly ahead, period. because once I start getting focused, it I stop being as animated. And I know I'm not as animated as a lot of VTubers, but I would literally just be staring dead on. Mine Rebel, huh? That could be useful. Mini Metal Maw. I could put a little Metal Maw in there. Mining Drill. Oh, that's a mine. Oh, there he goes. A misplaced spine. Yup. That lives in there now. Missile, angry, missile, ballistic, missile, cluster. Right, I was gonna do fog. Because it should be kind of misty. Just a little layer of fog as a treat.
Yeah? Go climb a tree.
Yeah. It just adds a little bit to it, you know? Now there's just a little ground layer of fog. It's not much, but it adds a little bit to it. Gosh, I love working on my housing. In another life, I would be a level designer for video games because I really do enjoy doing this. Especially all the little fiddly bits.
Go climb a tree.
It does just bring me a certain level of joy. Fox Den designer, yeah. Glowing skull? Well, yeah, why not? This thing's holding a skull. Let's make it fucking glow, dude. I think it's the same model. Oh, hell yeah, it is. Okay, now is the hard part of matching up literally everything. Shit, we've made Sans Undertale only one eye's glowing. Fuck. Abort. Abort. Forward. Up. Okay. Angle it forward a little more. And then all we have to do is make it a little bigger and slide it in place. Ever so bigger. I think maybe rotate a little bit too. bring it down a tiny bit. Hit it again. Maybe up a little bit. Because what we have here... Okay, cool. Now all I have to do is just do a color gradient on it for Arctera. There we go. Now the skull fucking glows. And it looks like she's causing this. Maybe I make the glow set in a little bit. Sure, I'm gonna need you to relax. Something's slightly off. It's my angle here, I'm not sure. Don't let good be the enemy of... Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. There we go. That's good. That actually works. Now we have a glowing skull, so it looks like this is actually being summoned. We still have our soul frost leaks. Okay, what time is it? Shit, it's 12:30. I actually do need to call it a night. Looks like we did not manage to get enough for focus charge, so I'm going to refund everybody. And we're going to raid out. Let's find somebody to raid. Thanks for hanging out with me while I did stuff. Anybody have any suggestions for a raid tonight? Let me see who's around on my team. Thank you folks for coming out tonight. Appreciate all of you. Happy you're here. We're going to, let's see, who's got the same sort of vibes that I have this evening? You know what? I have not raided out to mid-tier wolf before. But they're doing apparently a reading stream, which seems very chill. So we're gonna raid out to them. And a raid message tonight. All right, gang. See you on Tuesday. We'll probably be back to our Sky game because I can't imagine that my hyper focus will last long enough for Tuesday for me to do more of this. But I'm happy to pull up Wildstar and show you guys around like the world and everything if you're interested in that. Hope you have a good evening. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the other side. Have a good night, all. Computer, end program. Good night. Row. You know, we went a whole stream without a single item being thrown at me. And I'm not gonna change that. Goodbye!